Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. Today we're just discussing, of course, on the NFL draft on day 2 and the reaction a little bit for today, day 1. I did do it on live stream up into the Steelers pick, and then I went off the stream. I was kind of waiting just for our pick mostly. I was seeing other picks, of course, as well, but it was very interesting to see how the draft kind of transpired. We're seeing a lot of big names still in the draft, of course, fell out the first round. The two most surprising ones to me that fell out the first round, actually 3, is Will Johnson, Mike Green, and Shadeur Sanders falling out the first round. It's still kind of crazy to me. Mike Green, I thought he was going to be probably selected maybe by the Falcons, but then the Falcons, seen Jalen Walker fall down because the Panthers was kind of poised to select him, but they went offense this time. They went with T-Mac, brought T-Mac in, and I'm trying to see actually T-Mac and Matthew Golden was the only two, and Mike Ibuka, right? The only 3 receivers I think taken, of course. So we'll see exactly what happens to Luther Burden, because that was a surprising one too. Luther Burden still available. He's an amazing player, playmaker. We'll see if he gets taken in the second round, and see what happens to him. And we also see Trey Harris. I think he's a good player too as well. He might be second round, third rounders. We have to see what teams need more receivers and stuff. So we'll see what actually needs to be done. Sometimes teams go based off of best player available at the spot they need. Sometimes they go best, the spot they need, they get the best player from that. So sometimes be like, oh, I need a cornerback. I already got a solid, I need a cornerback, but that's my 3rd need on the list. But I also need a receiver, which is my 1st need. But since I've seen this cornerback who is like superb cornerback, I'm gonna draft him instead of going for a receiver that I really need. So some teams go by that way. Some teams do it based off of the list. Like, okay, I need a receiver first. I'm going receiver first, get the best one available, and I'm gonna go down the list like that. Some teams do it like that. So I guess it just depends on what strategy teams are doing it in. But that was surprising to see Luther Burden and Mike Green fall out the first. Will Johnson, I thought he was the 2nd best cornerback in the draft. He has good impress coverage, very physical, got good hand usage as well, can play the ball in the air, can do basically everything you want in a cornerback. But the reason they say he fallen in the draft because of the injury to his knee. So I don't know how severe the injury is, but I'm like, that shouldn't really plague you too much, like falling down in the draft. I'm like, it looks like he's gonna be injured for the rest of his career. I'm like, it's gonna be, a knee tweak. The season will start within another 4 months or so. So if he heal that up, be available to go. So I guess teams are kind of waiting. Maybe teams probably say he's good, but since he had the injury, he might fall a little bit. So I can wait instead of using the 1st round pick on him. I can use the 2nd round pick to get him. So maybe teams thinking that way. I did have Shadeur Revel going in the 2nd round, but I don't know. Now Will Johnson in the 2nd round with them. Maxwell Harrison went before Will Johnson, which is surprising to me too. And Jade Barron. So we'll see what happens to those two, Shadeur Revel and Will Johnson, seeing where they go and where they land. That'd be very interesting to see how they come about. Well, we also see, of course, Amari Hampton get drafted by the Chargers, which is very exciting for the Chargers fans, because I know they got Najee Harris already, and now you got Amari Hampton. The O-line has been built up. Harbaugh loved running the football. He implemented the O-line, got the O-line ready when he was coaching the 49ers at Stanford. And everywhere, basically. Like everywhere where you've been, Michigan, and now with the Chargers as well. He always found a way to build the O-line up, and just had the O-line like dominant like that, and being able to push and win in the trenches on the offensive side. So he's going to be doing some amazing things there. You'll see the Chargers running their way to try to make a playoff run, of course. So we'll see what happens with that situation, and keep monitored on how they're going to look. I think I'm definitely be drafting some Charger players on my fantasy team, especially maybe Amari Hampton and Najee. Try to get both of those. That'd be interesting. But Shadeur Sanders is the big name that fell out the 1st round. I was surprised. I thought the Raiders would probably take him at 6, or maybe trade back in the draft to get him. But when I was seeing Ashton Genty right there, I said the Raiders probably go Ashton Genty, and then they'll probably take Shadeur Sanders, maybe trade back in the draft to get Shadeur Sanders if they feel like they need to, or Shadeur Sanders go to the Steelers at 21. I thought my Steelers were going to take Shadeur Sanders. They went with the D lineman, Derek Harmon, which is a cool player. Derek Harmon is nice. He does a very good job at getting pressure up front. Does a very good job at stopping the run as well, like that, being the anchor on the D line. The Steelers struggled in stopping the run. That was one of the main things. The 2 top needs in this draft was D lineman and quarterback, like that. 2 top needs. Now, quarterback is more impactful than D lineman, of course. That's why I was kind of surprised the Steelers went with D lineman. I know D lineman that was available was better at his position than with the quarterback that was available in his position. So I think it's probably better to go wherever the team trying to look to bring up. But the Steelers are the highest paid defense, and they haven't got you really anything over the past 6-7 years. No playoff wins. You have the highest paid defense for the past 2-3 years. No playoff wins still. I love my Steelers, but I gotta speak the truth. Highest paid defense, haven't really got anywhere. Now, that does help a lot. Most of the playoff games you lost, you couldn't stop the run. The Browns, you couldn't stop them from running. You couldn't stop the Chiefs was jacking you up. They was doing everything on you. And then the Bills, you couldn't stop them from running as well. And then last year against the Ravens, you couldn't stop them from running either. They was lighting you up. So basically, most of your playoff losses came from you not being able to stop the run. So now you got a guy up front and Derek Harmon, who's a Titan, who's a Hulk up front. Gonna be a big body up front. It's gonna be nice. Yeah, he's very agile for his size, quick, got great strength and stuff as well. He's gonna be nice up front. So you finally got a piece right there. You need to make sure you do everything right. Don't do that weird stuff where you have people playing out of position. Let them learn from Cam Hayward. Let them play. Let them get early reps. Play them and see how things kind of change out a little bit. And we're gonna see a nice little tandem up there up front. But Shadeur Sanders, hopefully the Steelers can find a way to trade back in the second round to get a quarterback. You gotta get a quarterback. You can't rely on Mr. Psychedelic, Aaron Rodgers, who have noodle legs right now because of the ACL tear. He don't look the same. Can barely maneuver and barely outrun a toddler at this stage of his career. You gotta take Percocets and Mollies and shrooms and all type of things to get ready for games and stuff. We ain't got time to be waiting, of course, for a 42-year-old quarterback to see if he's gonna play or not. If he do play with the Steelers, he's only gonna play for one season and then probably, retire, most likely. So I feel like it's best to go with a young guy. I know Mason Rudolph's on the team. He's solid. You have a winning record as a Steelers starter, but he's not the long-term answer unless he shows something different. But as we've seen from what we've seen from Mason Rudolph, he's not the long-term answer. So we have Shadeur Sanders still available. The Browns could take Shadeur Sanders, or maybe they say we're going to take Jalen Moreau. But whoever they take, you need to find a way to get back in that second round and try to take Jalen Moreau or Shadeur Sanders. Bring one of those guys in. I feel like those two guys have the most upside to be starter guys and potential franchise guys. I know people said a lot of things about Shadeur and stuff. He's not that good, but I think he's a good player. He's a good player. Led his conference in completion percentage. I might have been in the whole, I think college league. He led in completion percentage with 72%, which was one of the highest ones. So he did a very good job last year. It wasn't a fluke either like that. You see his numbers; they always been consistent. Got better and better and better from Jackson State to Colorado as well. So he's gonna be nice, I think, on the right situation, especially in Pittsburgh. You got all the weapons you need. It'll be nice. So we're gonna see exactly if the Steelers go with Shadeur Sanders or they're gonna trade back get Jalen Moreau. Jalen Moreau got a lot of potential as well. He kind of reminds me of Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. Strong arm, he can run, dual threat and stuff, but he gotta find a way to basically develop into that. Like that. We've seen Josh Allen early on, you see the flashes, but then you see him get Brian Daboll over there as offensive coordinator, and you see Josh Allen excel to that. We've seen, of course, Jalen Hurts. You've seen the flashes early on, and now you see him kind of got into his own, and you see him kind of develop into that dual threat quarterback. I think Jalen Moreau kind of fit in those type of categories. He has the potential to be like that. Now we've seen another guy like Anthony Richardson who's still trying to develop into that. He has similar skills as those guys as well, so he's trying to develop into that. So the Steelers have to ask themselves a question: can you develop Jalen Moreau? Can you develop a young quarterback? And what we've seen from the Steelers, I don't know if they can develop a young quarterback like that. I feel like Shadeur might be a better bet because he already kind of NFL ready, and you basically got to develop a little bit more. Like he already there, kind of push him a lot bit more to get to the finish line. Kind of like Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart would have been cool too, but he's already gone now from the Giants. So I feel like you could develop him as well a little bit more and then push him over the line. But Jalen Moreau, you got to put some stuff into it a little bit more stuff. And we've seen the Steelers try to do it with Kenny Pickett's and all type of guys. They haven't developed a quarterback really since Big Ben. So we'll see if they can be able to do something. But you got to get a quarterback. I feel like the other guys like Tyler Shaw and Will Howard, they all right, but I don't feel like they'd be game changing. Now they do get drafted and become game changing, then I'll be happily be wrong. I'll definitely be wrong. They can say it every video, but like, oh, he was wrong. Yes, I'd be very happy because we'll be winning like that. But I don't know. I just don't know. I don't have the full confidence in those guys. But maybe, let's get somebody. Let's get a quarterback and see what happens. But we're gonna see exactly what happens with the rest of this draft to see where these guys go, of course. But that was definitely shocking to see Will Johnson, Shadeur Sanders, Mike Green, Luther Burden, all fall the first round a little bit. So we're gonna see what happens fully. What happens. But that's all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys probably tonight for more videos about the NFL draft. Peace out.